the IBC launched in India till 31st December 2024. This is not, I'm not discussing any case studies. I'm not discussing any rules and regulations, code, etc. This is a critical analysis. This critical analysis are done by the IBBA, and from time to time they are advising to the IPs across the country through their website. And today I will discuss about some parameters are there, nearly 40 parameters are there. And some of the parameters I will discuss. If extends one more class, we will discuss about this one. This is purely a research oriented, and through this analysis, some key learning points are also there. Because here, whenever we are doing some research work based on the primary data, this is not secondary data, the primary data. The primary data is being collected by the IBBA from time to time from the insolvency professions, IUs, information utilities, or IPS, insolvency professional agencies, or IPS, insolvency professional entities, or whatever the other areas are there, particularly adjudicating authority. All these are collected by them from time to time, and they are disseminating this information to all the members. This is only an analysis class. The critical analysis, some of them in the primary data, the details are not publishing by the IBBA, and some information provided somewhere I have collected, and I wish to discuss up to 5:30. And as usual, we will take a break for tea after 1.5 hours. That is 4 o'clock. And after 10 minutes, again, we will start, and up to 5:30, we will discuss. And whenever the primary data that is submitted, if you analyze, some insights are also there, and the key learnings are also there. Based on the data, sometimes the insolvency professional agencies, or the adjudicating authorities, or the IPs or IPs, all they can take some strategic thinking how to overcome that problems. Even IBBA also, based on the data, they are devising some strategies how to minimize, how to quicken or fasten the CIRP process like that. For that data is accurate data, because today the IPs are submitting the data to the IBBA either on a half yearly or yearly, whatever the periodicity is there. The exact data collected from the particular IPs, and they are disclosing that information in the public website. As you know, the preamble of IBC is the resolution, not the liquidation. But today, what is happening? If you see the data, most of the cases are under liquidation. But the objective of the IBC is not fulfilled, but it delays, abnormal delays. We are talking about 180 days, or extension of 90 days, or further extension of 6, max to max 330 days, or at the most within an year. That is not happening. Even though sometimes 14 days, within 14 days, the case is to be admitted. But on account of various issues, on account of infrastructure, lack of infrastructure at NCLTs, or lack of automation, particularly, even though information utilities are there, they are also providing the data. Some of the financial creditors or financial operational criteria, they are not submitting. Even the adjudicating authority also not widely used the information utility systems that is provided by NC, the the information utility, that is NSCL. So all these things, in a brief, to my knowledge is concerned, I will discuss. It is an interesting one also. Honestly speaking, even though it is a research, we are analyzing the data. Whatever the data submitted by the IPS across the country, based on the data, that is a primary data. It is not a published data. The information collected and analyzed. And before that, the IPS, particularly insolvency professionals, they have to update their knowledge. That's why the continuous education program or CEP hours are there. In the CEP hours also, from time to time, the knowledgeable faculty or eminent faculty or experienced faculty, they are disseminating. But in each class, even 20 to 40% knowledge acquired is that is equivalent to 100. We are not expecting 100% from each class, and some classes 30% or 20%. All these things are there. Beyond that, the knowledge enhancement through ICSI IIP, the learning curves are good learning curves from time to time. The IBBI on quarterly intervals, they are releasing the journals. That journal, quarterly journal, every 90 days. But to read that journal, hardly it will take 2 to 3 days to understand better and what is happening across the country. And all are there in the journal, that is quarterly journal. Then every journal highlighted by one article, that is particularly the head of the IBBA, he is giving a message to the insolvency profession. Either it may be the liquidation or committee of creditors, CoC Dharma, or the PPIRP, and what are the best practice across the world and how they are implemented in India. All these things are there in the particular journal. Not only that one, data is also available. The data is available in Excel formats. And a synopsis of that particular information is also provided in the quarterly journal. And a readable form, booklet form is also they are supplying. And that data is 95% accuracy. If at all they are getting, some people they are providing any small wrong data, the data same they will be communicated by them. But here checks and cross checks are there. Definitely, even 95 escalated to 98%. 2% that side or this side, that is not change the total scenario of the IBC decision making process. And that's why today, I will discuss about in detail about the critical analysis of the IBC inception to the December 2024. To enhance the knowledge, read daily at least 6 cases. I am not asking you to read the judgment copies. Judgment copies are runs into 30 to 40 pages. But ICSI, IIP, learning curves are there. That is a good source. Hardly the 6 cases, each case, only 5 minutes, you will acquire the knowledge. Fantastic knowledge. Not ordinary knowledge. Daily, only the 6 case, each case only 5 minutes. It is only A4 size paper. If you remove the heading and the bottom empty space, the total case is on half page only. And hardly, because you are the profession, you know the nuts and bolts of the IBC system, you know the code, you know the regulation, you know the rules. All these things are there. And to understand these details, decided cases they are giving, either NCLT or NCLAT or High Court or Supreme Court, whatever the judgments are there, only half page, it is very easy to understand. Hardly it will take only 30 minutes to complete the 6 steps. That present the serial number running ICSI IAP is 1045. The serial number is 1045. Daily make it a habit to read this learning curves. One learning curve I will discuss. You estimate the time also, how much time it will take. Hardly less than 5 minutes. This is ICSI, the Institute of Insolvency Professions. The latest learning curve I have taken, 1045. And if GST refund or ITC claim was not included in Section 8 demand notice or Section 9 application, it cannot be become a ground for a default of a CARP can be initiated. Once the debt, either it may be the financial creditor or the operational creditor, they are eligible to file. Debt is required. But a GST claim, refund, they are asking refund. If refund is not they paid, then we should not proceed under IBC. Always this type of cases, the valuable time of the judiciary authority will be spoiled. So the case is RB Singh versus Rashmi Cement Limited. Company Appeal 80, insolvency number 1187 by 2023. It was date of order is May 10, 2024. The court is NCLAT Delhi. So the synopsis of the case at the top, only one sentence. It is simple to understand. Tomorrow, if at all anybody approached me, sir, that GST claim not refunded, I wish to file under IBC, means no, you should not file. And you should not give any demand notice. After that, you should not file an application under Section 9, demand notice under Section 8. Simply, I will tell. Thereby, the case will be closed at my level only. So here we have to give the advisory services to the corporate debtors or the financial creditors or the operational creditors from time to time. Don't always think about I have to get the permission from the empanelment the process of banks. My name is not there. I'm not getting cases. That is a secondary one. Here, the brief facts of the case. Rashmi Cement Limited claims to have paid in advance for supply of 3 racks of cement clinker to Bilai JP Cements Limited, BJCL. That is corporate data. However, BJCL failed to supply the third rack. They have supplied 2 racks. And the third rack, they have not supplied. And also did not refund the advance payment. Because of the Rashmi Cement, they have paid that amount for 3 racks. But the BGCL, they have supplied only 2. But whenever they are paying the amount, including a GST also, they will pay. Therefore, particularly third rack did not refund the advance payment received by them. Then the Rashmi Cement Limited issued demand notice under Section 8 of the IBC and proceed ahead of the filing of Section 9 of the application. The adjudicating authority an order admitted the CD into CAL. Today, what is happening? Some of the adjudicating authorities, on account of various reasons, some slippages are happening. And in this case also, instead of not accepting the case, they have accepted the case. They have admitted the case. The appellant, being a shareholder of the corporate data, aggrieved by the impugned order, preferred for an appeal. Normally, they will appeal to the NCLAT. The corporate data particularly appeal to the NCLAT. The Honorable NCLAT Delhi held that we need not go into the reasons suggested by the RCL. We don't want to go into the reasons. What that RCL told, that Rashmi Cement Limited, that is a operational creditor. I don't want to listen all these things. And why they failed to demand a payment of unpaid return on GST in Section 9 of the application. It only suffices to note that no such DSA refund and ITC claim was included in Section 8 demand notice or Section 9 by the RCL, and hence it cannot become ground for a default on which CARP can be an issue. The appellate authority clearly told. I don't want to go into the details, whether when the GST paid and what is the proof and all these things. Prima facie, the GST or any ICT, but particularly the ITC, the claims not come under the purview of the IBC. When the dues in terms of Form 3 and Form 5 has been cleared by BJCL, endeavors on the part of RCL to seek initiation of CAP by raising claims which do not find a place in Form 3 or Form 5, find them clearly manifests that the intention of RCL to invoke the provision of IBC to enforce the recovery of debts against the corporate data, allowing such claims never formed the part of the claim of the operational debt before the adjudicating authority. To be considered at the appeal stage, not attainable. This cannot be commended as the militates against the spirit of the particular essence of the IBC. Having recorded the facts and circumstances of this case on hand, the appeal is allowed and the impugned order of adjudicating authority set aside. Today, whenever the cases are admitted by the NCLT, how they will admit it? The order has to be gone through, or they go through by the resolution professionals. Under what is the case? Why the case is admitted by the NCLT? Under what grounds? Under what proofs? Under what claims they are asking? Whether the claim is a time barred or in line. What are the documents that are submitted by the financial creditor or operational creditor? Okay, the case is allotted to me. Simply, I should not start that particular day one about the public announcement, all these things. First, I have to go through the case straight. Being a responsible professional, okay, adjudicating authority sometimes overlook this type of errors. But once that is continued and all are that costs are waste to the economy, particularly the corporate data also. Or sometimes that is to be recovered from the applicant also. So all these things are there. So that's why whenever we are getting any case, go through the case. So this is only, it will take 5 minutes. The total pages, this one, if you remove that top and all these things, honestly speaking, this is a half page. Clearly mentioned. The ICSA, IIP, they are publishing this learning curves. Not only that one, other journals are also there. Once you go through this one, definitely some good results will happen. Knowledge levels will enhance like anything. So my suggestion is this type, not only this one, even the quarterly journal of the IBBI, that is a good journal. Every journal highlights and in detail, and when compared to the Indian IBC with vis-a-vis other countries IBC, sometimes they are commenting, they are writing some articles, etc., etc. Whether it is a cross-border insolvency or the voluntary liquidation or liquidation or CoC dharma or the personal guarantor to corporate data, all areas they are touching. Every journal, they are touching each and every the important aspects. This is a journal. The quarterly journal of IBBI, insights of IBC 2000 subject. They are research, knowledgeable, and if you go through this one, hardly 10 to 20 pages may be there. Once you go through the 10 to 20 pages, definitely it increases the knowledge like anything. So that's why my suggestion is don't miss to read or complete hardly 20 pages. Means hardly it will take, if at all you are concentrating, definitely within one day also it can be completed. Or at the most 2 days. Or I'm say we can read. Now, this e-newsletter includes tables, charts, underlying data from the quarterly newsletter of insolvency and bankruptcy. This e-newsletter meant for sole purpose of creating awareness and must not guide use, taking recommendations, action decisions for commercial and other use. For knowledge purpose, this is the best journal. It is there in the downloads of the particular IBBI. Go through that one and get the information, update the knowledge on continuous basis. Definitely this book is this journal is an excellent journal to enhance the knowledge, to update the knowledge. Now, our today's topic is on critical analysis of IBC. Whether IBC, all areas, all stakeholders are satisfied from 2016, means 2017 onwards till date, nearly 8 years completed. This 8 years, what they did, they are telling 180 days, whether they have completed all the CARP 180 days or not, or extension of 90 days, 270 completed or not, or in certain cases 60 days completed or not. What is a puff transaction? Next, what is the role of the other people, the stakeholders, all these things? How many cases are filed? How many are not admitted? How many are admitted? How many are withdrawn and 12A? All these things we should have some knowledge about that particular areas. We will discuss the first one area, that is a CARP area. 40 areas they have given. But this is to be analyzed by us only. Because we are experts in that area. We know the total IBC system. We know about each and every sub-process of the IBC or the stakeholders of IBC and the rules, regulation, code, etc., etc. So they will give the data, but we have to analyze the data. Because we know the system and the interpretations. My interpretation may be different from your interpretation, or your interpretation may be different, or sometimes both our interpretation may be equal. The interpretation, particularly whenever we are studying any balance sheets, the company balance sheet, they are providing a 2 or 3 years balance sheet, and we will give the recommendations or analysis report whether the company is financially sound or financially healthy or not, based on the comparison, based on the ratios, based on the benchmarks, based on the other information provided by the company, whether it is a good or not, and we will give the ranks. In the similar manner, the IBPA also collect the data, the compliance data. Every IP, once he is in practice, he has to supply or he has to provide the data to the IBPA from time to time. And accordingly, that is an 99% accuracy data. This 99% accuracy data, they will publish, and we have to see what is happening. Okay, we are in that profession. What is happening? That we have to analyze it. Analysis maybe gives some good points, bad points also. So whatever the bad points are there, how to overcome the bad points, turn into good points, that is also we have to think it of. Take for example, the CARP process. How many cases are admitted from March 27 to 17 to December 2024, the yearly data. The yearly data, 3 parameters they have taken into consideration. How many cases are admitted by the adjudicating authorities? And how many are closure? Once admitted, that is a closure. Some cases still it is continuing under CARP1. If you see this particular data, initially the admitted is 37. Next year, it went up to 744. After that, the awareness of the IBC is increasing like anything among the financial creditors, operational creditors, and the corporate debtors, those who are filing the cases under Section 7 or 8, 9 or 10. So that March 19 further increase, and 20 further increase. Like that, the peak level of IBC is in 2024. That is a number of cases admitted by all NCLTs across the country. That is the cumulative figure. The cumulative figure is 7,826. And even 2024 also, it went up to 8,035. And now the 2024, that is particularly 8,175. The number of cases admitted, it is increasing stage, no doubt. And the growth levels compared to the earlier, the growth levels are decreased. Earlier, the growth level at that time, the knowledge is not there. That's why some of the people, particularly financial creators also, they have not filed the cases with the NCLT. As usual, they will file, particularly bankers, they will file the cases with the DRT, or they will follow the SURFACE 2002 etc. After going through some of the banks' discussions, or Reserve Bank of India guidelines, or Ministry of Finance guidelines, or etc., etc., year on year basis, the growth levels of the IBC is increasing. So the admitted cases as on December 2024 is 8,175 and closure. Sir, once the cases are admitted, some of the cases are to be closed on completion of 180 or before, once the resolution plan is submitted, or some people, if at all they made the compromise with the bankers, that also close. And some people, they appeal for that particular the NCLAT or other courts. Take for example, at the time of personal guarantor to corporate debtor, number of cases are filed, correct? But on account of Supreme Court, they have given stay in one case, and automatically all cases are added that a personal guarantor to corporate debtor. And that is the principle of natural justice they have filed. And after that, the earlier Justice of India, so he given one day one judgment, and all cases, 500 cases in one go, it is disposed of on account of that judgment. And the Supreme Court of India also given instructions to all the NCLTs, go ahead to the existing case. Otherwise, on account of Supreme Court, that stay orders, all NCLTs that. So here also, some of the cases disposed means particularly closure means it may be closed in NCLT. It may be opened in NCLAT. Or some issues are there, the closure. But some of the closures are real closures. That is a resolution plans submission. Once a resolution plan submitted, then and that is the real closure. But in the some of the cases, the financial creditor also, they compromise with the bank, whatever the dues are there, and with a 90% CoC concurrence, the case is withdrawn. Or before the case is the CoC formed, some cases they compromise it, then they pay the amount, and the financial creditor also withdraw the cases filed against the corporate debtor. So if you see the 8,175 cases around there, and out of that closure is 6,192 like that. But still 1,983 cases are pending. But a closure means not the real closure. The closure also, they have given some guidelines. So if you analyze that one, the resolution professionals adhere rigorously the time-based framework established by the IBPI regulation. Still, some of the cases are continuing means sometimes the resolution professional on account of a time-based framework to be meticulously followed. I am the eyewitness in one NCLT of Hyderabad. The adjudicating authority clearly in the room, particularly the courtroom only, he agreed with one IP. Why you are delaying? What is there? It is nothing, because we know about that particular company. No assets are there. Why you are dragging? Are you why you are dragging? And some people they are dragging the case for the professional fees, etc. And he himself angry with the IP. If at all the same is continued, every time why you are asking postpone, postpone, postpone? Why you are asking another hearing? No, here nothing is there. What is the problem in dispose of the case earliest? Why the regulation clearly spelled out for 180 days? If at all you are doing like that, I will inform to the IBBI like that. In the presence of all the IPS or the other the court staff, he the adjudicating honorable adjudicating authority. So, but if that is simple case, and we should not delay. Close that one, we will get the new one. Off the record, some of the people, why they are delaying, we don't know the reasons. What is their hidden agenda? As the corporate insolvency constitutes the project, it is a project. Suppose you take, for example, normal project is there. In the normal project, if at all time delay is there, the project to be completed within an year. If at all 2 years means cost escalation, production will delay, commercial production will be delay. Then whatever the products they are going to manufacture, then by that time the market may absorb, may not absorb. And why if delay is there, technology outdated, whatever the machine they have purchased, that becomes outdated. All these things are there in the particular this one, the general project. At the same time, CARP also. At the same time, CARP also. If at all it is delayed beyond 180 or 270 or 330, the machinery outdated or redundant or inactive, or if the machines are not in running condition and depreciation and rusting and again a lubrication, all these things. Some industries, if no maintenance is there, then the value will decrease. Value will decrease. Only the land value may appreciate, but the particularly the plant and machinery over a period of time, on account of a wear and tear, on account of obsolescence, the value will decrease. As the corporate insolvency process constitute a project executed by the resolution of it. It is a prompt conclusion, not only mitigate the CARP, but also enhances the overall value of the project. The preamble clearly told why it is a delay. If it sometimes the quick disposal is very much required. In certain cases where there is no value of the asset. Once there is no the premises is also not the premises means the factory product factory is not there, production, the dilapidated condition. If at all that is there, directly recommend or convince the committee of creditors liquidation process. And even if at all some people they are taking this total whatever the grace period is there, that is 180 days, that they will take, thereby the liquidation process will also delayed. So this is to be completed at the earliest. Any delays encountered at various stages. Some of the cases, steps are given in the regulation. Public announcement, T plus, this one, T plus, that one, T plus. So 180, T plus 180, the last one also they have clearly mentioned. Some of the processes, we need not wait up to last day. That is the deadline given by the time schedules given by the in the regulation. Had I been there, suppose I take for example, along with the publication, if the assets are known to me and the CoC, first CoC is formed, I will get the permission and first go for a valuation purpose. If at all valuation, recent valuation is there, I will take that one, compare that one, and if at all required, I will go for this one. And here, the fastness and the quickness is very much required. And certain sub-processes within CARP do not necessitate waiting until the regulated deadlines. And these should be executed expeditiously as possible. We have to complete at the time, early time, then the total time will be completed. Within the total time, 180 days is not a small period. 6 months. Today, even project constructions on account of automated systems, on account of technology, big buildings are also constructed within 1 year. Earlier, this is 6 years, 8 years, like that. Today, The amount is very, very important. That payback period is very, very important. Whatever the amount I am going to invest, that is should be back. That is a capital budgeting techniques. So expeditiously as possible. Now, the timely finalization of project not only serves the interest of the stakeholders, but also enhance the reputation standing of the resolution. Today, even banks, I am also from bank, even empaneled advocates, earlier system, now I am not talking about CIR. So many cases are filed with various courts. Not only DRT surface earlier, we used to file in different courts, COURTS courts, and different advocates. Each branch, 20, the 10 to 15 advocates, maybe in some branches, 20 also there. We allotted one case or two case. If at all any advocate is timely completed, we will give preference and give more cases to them. And banks are also, they are conducting advocates seminar or webinar or whatever the meeting. And we analyze why the case is delayed, why it is taking more than 1 year, what is the reason, what efforts you are made, and if at all you are completed at the earliest, we will give another 2 cases to you. This is the critical analysis of the cases filed by the advocates at various courts of the bank loans. In the similar manner, timely finalization of the project not only serves the interest of the stakeholders, once you are completed that one, all stakeholders are happy, but also enhances the reputation. Is a good IP, and the message will percolate in the banks. Definitely. Why? Because the stressed assets resolution branch of State Bank of India, they use it to interact with the Punjab National Bank and the Canara Bank, the stressed assets departments. Then sometimes they will ask, sir, who is the best, sir? Can I have the names? Like that. Today, we need not wait up to the advertisement. If a bank wants, they will take the biodata and get it empaneled from the appropriate authority. So what I mean to say is complete that the CIRP process at that time. And the professionals in the market, driven reputation. The message will percolate like anything. He is the number one advocate, sir. He is the number one valuer, sir. We used to give some cases, mostly some people, they are following the time schedule. They are following the code of conduct or ethics, whatever you call it. Financial creditor consistently monitor. Even though case is allotted by the branch is not the company. The higher authority, the zonal or a regional office or the head office from time to time. Why this delay? What efforts you are made to monitor or to follow up that particular insolvency professional? Either he may be the IRP or RP. Then I don't have any words to say. Then they will tell, okay, if at all he is not up to the mark, you replace that one in the CoC. So that type of criticism, we should not invite it. The financial creditor consistently monitor the benchmarks. Being a banks, they also require the funds at the earliest because funds are to be recycled. If at all the amount is coming from the resolution plans quickly, then I will use that funds for new loans. Thereby the recycling. Once the funds are recycled, one person paid, another person given, another person paid, another person given. Once the funds recycling is there, the profitability of the bank will also increase. The benchmarks and timelines adhered to the resolution profession in their proceedings arrive the conclusion like efficiency levels of the resolution. They don't think about that they are not having the knowledge. Today, even in my bank, standard operating procedures are there for CIRP, liquidation, or the PPIRP or the personal guarantor to corporate debtor, and from time to time, the central office or the corporate office of the bank, they will inform to the branches about the how to quicken the process, and the audit department is there. This audit department also simply they don't come and verify. What is when it was CoC is formed? How many committee of creditors meetings was held on? What decision in each meeting? Why in that case, if decisions are not there, why you have conducted? How much expenditure is incurred? Once instead of CERP, why not file the case under surface before now? Because IBC is prevails over the other act. Sometimes banks will also in future don't go for IBC. First you try for the surface or surface at the most DRT. So like this, they will also analyze to overcome that problem. Whatever the bottlenecks are there in the system, that's why the professionalism is required. That's why insolvency professional. So simply that a timeline, so if at all I am giving the particularly the public announcement, after that appointment, after that conducting comes, no, here also the professionalism to be shown, your professionalism. The majority of the CIRP closures result in liquidation. If you see the data, some of the cases are in liquidation. In that case, once that 330 days is over, but sometimes 330 days is also not completed. Sometimes it is running in 2 years. After 2 years, liquidation means another 2 years means what is the difference between IBC and other acts? There is no difference because it is a new initiative. And the preamble clearly states the stakeholders resolution to be completed at the earliest. One regulator is also there. One insolvency professional entity is there. Information utility also there. Continuous education program is also there. Adjudicating authority is also there. Okay. Sometimes the judicial level also the delays are inevitable. They are also having that. But some cases, on account of a non-filing of the reports by the resolution profession, it is postponed. Today, the suitable the guidelines are also there to the adjudicating authorities to resolve the cases at the earliest. So, as articulated in the preamble of the IBC, primary objective is a resolution, with the liquidation being a final recourse when once we are talking about resolution, liquidation is nothing but a death of the company. And sometimes company as a whole are going concern, we will try to sell, but a liquidation, the same asset, we are unable to sell through resolution plan, at CIRP. But the same asset we are selling to the under liquidation. Okay. So here, what my analysis is, the CIRP level only that is to be settled. But here, proper advertisement, proper convincing of the people. That's why information memorandum is the key point. If at all you highlight the information memorandum correctly about the quality of the asset, about the status of the asset, about the company, what is the demand for the product, all these things. Because being a banker, whenever we are giving any lending to the people, we are preparing the credit appraisal. In the credit appraisal, it consists of 30 to 40 pages. Why we are going to give, or why should not give that loan? Under what parameters? About the demand and supply, about the collateral security, about the experience of the company, about the latest product, the technology that is adopted, all these things. So the primary resolution unattainable. The expedient closure of CARP can be achieved through effective time management and strategic plan. That's why earlier also I have given one lecture. Time management is very, very important. Planning is also very, very important. Once I know all the steps in CARP, then what is the next? What is the next? What is the next? Once the next process, some process that is not linked to the earlier process. That is an independent process. Complete that one by getting the permission from the appropriate authority. Either it may be the adjudicating authority or the CoC, like that. Why should I wait up to the next process? So the expedited closure of the CARP can be achieved through effective time management planning. Today the planning is in some cases, because I am verifying my friends also. That's why I'm telling. Otherwise, those people, the time management, I told so many things. Planning is required. How many cases are there? Daily list is to be made. This case, next 1 month, these are to be completed. Strike it off, completed. Then the abnormal delays, the more than 330 or 2 years, okay. I also agreed. Judiciary, they are also taking their own time, but not in all cases, in certain cases. But quickly dispose it off. The deficiency in understanding of the code and accompanied by the regulations. Some of the people, they might have passed the LI examination, but they are not updating. But because at the time of the examination, they are well versed with the regulation code for a period of time. As a human being, I may forgot it, but a continuous updation of knowledge is required. Just I told about the learning curves. The learning curves are very, very important. And read, file it. And on the top, this is with regard to GST or others, government, it is not admissible in the NCLT. Whatever the ITC claims are there, whatever the GST claims are there, it is not admissible. Reading, you write it. In future, if at all this type of cases are there, refer that one. Maintain the index. Today, Excel sheets are also there. And if at all I mention the topic, definitely I will get the case and I will get the serial number of that particular one page that is a learning curve. So here, the deficiency in understanding. Some, honestly speaking, some very few people. What is the next process? Boss, once CARP process, one latest regulation is there, and the last page, the schedule of times are also there. Why you are asking me? Even templates, whatever the forms are there, all are available in that latest. One beauty is there in IBPA. That beauty is simply they are publishing whatever the earlier instructions are there updated, and latest regulations they are uploading in the system. Suppose that today I received a case, immediately today I go to the IBPA, what are the latest regulation, download and take the printout, and along with the order, I have to follow this one, regulation only. In rare cases only I have to go to the code. Normally, regulation is operational instructions of the CARP. So, as a professional, I am always doing the operational areas. As an operational area only. Next, prompt submission of necessary documentation and accurate data to the NCLT. NCLT is asking some information. They are submitting the other information. Thereby, sometimes the adjudicating authority is unhappy. Whatever the data diminishes the time lapse or delays associated with the CAR. Once you have given prompt The day one, suppose it, take for example, when I am attending for that particular the proceedings, all the relevant data. I will go through once or twice, and whatever the adjudicating authority going to raise that doubts also, if at all proofs are available ready, then if at all I promptly submitted, the judicial time will reduce. Okay, at the judicial level also, some postponements are there. That is not under our control. Whatever under our control is there, that is to be resolved. The prompt submission of necessary documentation and accurate to the NCLT, NCLAT diminishes the time lags or delays associated with this CAR. That is required. The arguments, particularly arguments, whatever the arguments are there, by the resolution in NCLT and NCLAT must be strong with the supporting documents. Not a simply reading. The documents was simple with the documentation. Submit. With the code that one regulation and submit the document. The code, submit the documentation. Citing contemporary judicial pronouncements also. So whenever judicial pronouncement are there, earlier already decided cases are there. Submit that one. And quoting that one, quote that one, and substantiate the evidence. No, sir, next hearing, I will submit, I note to submit all the documents. Because once I'm attending for this one, the total 180, whatever the total sub-process are there, all are, it is known to me. And once today hearing is there, what type of questions they are going to ask, what type of documents they are going to ask. If at all I prepared and submitted the same instantly, then situation, particularly the delay will not happen. Once your delay is curtailed, your case, another cases, they will allot the time to another cases also. So that's why one example, general example, if a flight is delayed in one sector, that total chain will be reacted. One flight is going from start from Jaipur to Delhi, Delhi to the Calcutta to Hyderabad, like that. If it is delay is there in Jaipur, it will reach the Hyderabad in a different time, not the ATC control, all these things. In the similar manner, once I am giving trouble or I am not submitting the data or document within the time schedule or whatever the requirements of the adjudicating authority is there, not submitted, then automatically number of times that postponement like that. The arguments presented by the resolution profession in the NCLT and NCLAT must be strong with the supporting documents, citing contemporary judicial pronouncements and substantiating evidence. And this approach will consequently reduce the judicial time also. Facilitate quick completion of CAR. And whenever I am submitting any information, a brief para about what I am going to do, or what is the information, suppose there is no assets and balance sheets are also not available. In first hearing only, we have to come, they inform to the adjudicating authority, sir, that site is not there, no assets are not there, only the company ROC registration is pending, no data, no staff, and the administrative building is not there, computers are not there, nothing is there, sir. Simple. According to judicial authority, particularly the adjudicating authority, I will follow the next. So if at all I keep quiet and okay, next time you do this one, you do that one. Okay, sir, means then automatically the process will be delayed. This approach consequently reduces the judicial time and facilitate quick completion of CARP. Now coming to The mode of closure of CIR. Out of the closure, 44%, nearly half of the cases are closure is with regard to liquidation. Nearly 44%. It is as good as a 50%. Okay, this is the earlier the December data. Now, if you see the 50% cross. So 44% only liquidation. CIRP, they took nearly 1 year or 1.5 year or 180 days not completed. Some cases 270, some cases 330, some cases 1.5 year, some cases 2 years. After 2 years, again start from the scratch liquidation. Remaining 56 days. Some of the closures are resolution plans. And some of the cases are appeals to the higher authority, appellate authority. Some of them are review. Some of them are settled or withdrawn. Here, resolved, settled, and withdrawn is the best one. Reasons. Appeal and review. These two are alarming. But resolved, settled, and withdrawn is limited when compared to the appeal and review. So commencement for liquidation 44% means I have spent nearly 1 year or 1.5 year or 2 years time at a CIRP. Again, the liquidator and the liquidation order, all these things, again, it is as good as the second stage of a CIRP, that is in liquidation. These are latest data. This is up to December 24. This is the situation till December 31st, 2024. This is the latest data. In the context of closure of a corporate insolvency cases, it is noteworthy 44% to liquidation proceedings, which is a high say. Once the resolution plans, proper advertisement, proper communication, that is very much required. One example, I'm being a banker, I'm talking about one example here. What is that example? Being a banker earlier, we used to auction the assets of the borrower, if at all he failed to pay the amount. And sometimes earlier, we used to file the cases in civil courts. After that, SURFACE, we switched over to the SURFACE and the DRT established, and the banks are not filed the cases at civil courts. Civil courts are also appointed a particular person as a recovery. They are helping in recovery. And civil courts are also, they have given advertisement. They asked us to give the advertisement, public announcement. And if bidders are there, you auction that one and inform to us like that. Civil court orders are also like that, similar to this orders. Even as a bankers, in one rice mill that is located at the East Godavari district of Andhra Pradesh, we are unable to sell the property for 1.5 years. Number of auctions, number of papers, the advertisement, every time advertisement is costly and debited to borrower's account, that expenditure. After that, one advocate or legal person, he purchased that land in auction with the list. Why? Because once it is not materialized, we will reduce the price. Then ultimately that was purchased. What he did is, at that time, that material time, Orissa government encourages the residents. He given advertisement in Orissa that I have purchased one plant and machinery. Plant and machinery is in this much condition. I wish to sell because the state government is giving some subsidies, and some rice millers they want to expand the mills, and some rice millers they want to start another rice mill. Immediately, all the buyers they come to from Orissa to the Andhra Pradesh, and they visited. The total the cost he purchased for 10 crores, and only the plant and machinery he got 7 crores, and the remaining land, that land is he developed that land leveling, and plots. At that time, plots are there, not the flats. Individual plots are sold. He got another 9 crores. 9 plus, particularly the plant and machinery, it is around 7 crores. Total 16 crores. The purchase, he purchased for 10 crores. Another incidental expenditure not exceeding 10 lakhs. The total almost he got a huge profit of nearly that 6 crores or so. But we are unable to do that process. As a bankers, we are unable to do that process. But here also, the strategic thinking is there from the legal official. What the strategic thinking is, if at all advertisement is given by the bank in the West Godavari, nobody is interested to purchase that plant because on account of various reasons. And he given advertisement in Odisha, and the prospective buyers, they come and they purchase it, that one, they take away from the transport. Then it is cleaned, and the building is dilapidated, and whatever the building process, particularly some the dilapidated type also, some additional income generated, and the land is leveling. So here what I told is, particularly in IBC cases also, the resolution plans are not up to the mark. Wide publication. Today, even banks also, the non-performing assets, they want to sell to the investors instead of routed through ARC. That is the latest guidelines. And even in particularly, I belongs to Hyderabad. Some of the people, particularly the other country people, NRIs, they are ready to purchase, they are ready to acquire some old industries, and they want to modernize it. Some people, they want to purchase, and they modernize it, and they want to sell it. All types of people are available. So here, wide publication. The resolution achieved through the going concern CIRP model is demonstrably more advantageous than the liquidation. If at all the case is shifted to liquidation, then automatically the creditors, they will get a nominal amount. Because the in liquidation, the company will be split the bits and pieces, and each asset they will sell. Even though we are talking about under liquidation also going concern, in most of the cases, that is not possible. This is a practical issue. In numerous instances, the liquidation process culminate the cessation of the company operation. Death, it leads to death. So CIRP, if you see the next data, that CIRP only, the maximum amount they are getting, they are realizing that. The alternatives for the resolving, settling, withdrawing regarded the most favorable during CIRP. Given that a significant number of financial creditors, particularly banks, have shown willingness to engage a compromise or a one-time settlement. Suppose I take for example, withdrawal is there. The case withdraw is there. Okay. Before CoC formation, after CoC formation, after expression of interest, some stages are there. Okay, very good. But if at all banks are willing for a compromise, today, banks to clean their balance sheets, they are ready for compromise. They are ready for one-time settlement. So once the corporate debt are interested, then if they are going for that one, subject to approval of the CoC and all these things at 90% or whatever the stage is there, we have to encourage it. Why encouragement? Encouragement means this is not a personal agenda or to do the bank's favor. But once the company is status quo, that company is sold to another, the person, particularly buyer, the company death will not happen. Next, production within a short span, it will start. Employment creation, GDP increase, and unemployment will not this one. So willingness to engage in compromise or one-time settlement, it is imperative resolution professional to favor or positive these options. One of my colleague is handle the case and public announcement and all this. In the meantime, the corporate data is they ready for compromise. But whatever the compromise and whatever the one-time settlement, courts will not agree. Why it is not agree? Even the some of the corporate data, they will tell, sir, we are under compromise, please postpone. No, that postpone. Once you cleared and compromise letter and paid the amount, no due certificate from the financial creditor is there, then only I will do it. Till such time, I don't do any consideration for the corporate data. That is a clear cut. Even in other cases also, while we are filing the cases in civil courts also, or DRTs also, the same statement they will give. So imperative the resolution profession to favor positive for these options from the perspective of the stakeholders. Today, what is happening? The stakeholders are very, very important. Some of the stakeholders, they provided the stocks, particularly the operational data. Once they have not recovered, then the liquidity problem arises in the particular companies. In the context of concluded CARP cases, the process appeal and review are inherently time consuming, consequently leading to depreciation the value of the associated assets. Why there is a need for review? Some missings are there. Some complaints may be there. Some process mistakes may be there, or some violations of regulation or IBC. So definitely that will be, others will to get their dues, definitely they will go for appeal. Once I am handling the case in a transparent manner, definitely this will not arise. So 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. That's why whatever the regulation, whatever the code, whatever the rules that are defined and different judicial pronouncement, I have to follow, and according to that, I have to complete. Then a review will not arise. But once the corporate data is okay, for the corporate data, if at all is going for one-time settlement, it is out of the CARP. For that, I don't want to stop the process, but I have to communicate the same. Boss, this is the next process. Whether you are completing within 1 day or 2 days and complete that process. Even corporate data, no, sir, please give me another 1 week. No concentrations. Once a no due certificate is there or the CoC is approved, the withdrawal, then only it will come out. Otherwise, but in that case, a positive consideration, little bit is required. The company should not be killed. The company should be survived. That is the main motto of any acts. The efficacy and the productivity of the resolution plays a crucial role in the closure of CAR, which is predominantly resolved, withdrawn, or settled. Your role is also there. On that day, particularly my friend, they told, I don't wait till your order, particularly the payment. We will follow whatever the schedule given by the IBBI, we will follow as per regulation. But if you complete within 3 days, or 2 days, or one day, or tomorrow, or next week, because the next process is due, I have to go complete that process. I don't want to wait your compromise or one side, but communicate them to the corporate data properly. Then he made efforts. Even though he is a request, we should not oblige it. This moment should be perpetuated across all the cases managed by the resolution professions. This is not only this one. Actually, what was happened in that case, that case is within 2 days, they completed that process, and before the public announcement, the financial creditor withdraw that this one and a no due certificate, and immediately the adjudicating authority asked the resolution professors, and he also given a no due certificate, but for this also he charged some amount. And once that amount is paid, immediately he will given that no due certificate from the IP and submitted to the judiciary authority. Then the case was closed. So here, the intention of the corporate debtor is correct. The support is not hurry, even though the public announcement within 3 days, but he has waited the first day also he can give, second day also he can, but third day, if at all you are not getting that no due certificate from the financial creditor, definitely I will issue the. But once the public announcement is given, the image of the corporate data will lost. And further, new creditors, they may not supply the goods on credit. This momentum should be perpetuated across all the cases managed by the regulator. Enhancement and efficiency of the CARP can be achieved through limited number of cases managed by the resolution, ensuring that the workload remains the opportunity capacity. Some of the people, 16, 17, 10, where is the time? 24 hours. Out of that, 12 hours for our personal work or sleep, all this. Only 12 hours left. With the 12 hours, I have to verify what is the next process and all these things in one company. How I will handle other companies or liquidation process, 10 are there. That's why even IBB also clearly told, there is no cap, but the capacity is very, very important. The capacity of the particular person, the knowledge level, the infrastructure, the manpower, how many manpower are there, all these things. If at all he has taken 10 and he is not justified and all are years together, then it is a problem. So enhancing the efficiency can be achieved through limited number. I am having capacity to drink only one cup of coffee, not 10 cups of coffee or 2 cups of coffee. Only 1 cup. That is my appetite. If at all I am taking 3 cups, then the body will reject. So in the similar manner, this is also. Enhancing the efficiency of the CRP can be achieved through limited number of cases managed by the resolution profession, ensuring that workload remains within their operational capacity. Some of the people I'm seeing, they don't have the car, they don't have the office, they don't have the particular, they are handling 5 to 6. If a staff is there, staff is also experienced, staff is also having good knowledge in IBC, 5 is not a big problem. For each, today, one corporate, one case may be in Hyderabad, another case may be Visakhapatnam, another case may be Bangalore, another case may be Chennai, or another case may be Kerala. How he will handle? Even our personal presence is also required in most of the cases. Otherwise, today our phone means everybody will tell some cock and bull stories. So here, enhancing the efficiency of the CARP can be achieved through limited number of cases of managed the resolution, ensuring that workload remains the operation. If at all I am not concentrating on the resolution plan to mobilize the resolution, then automatically some of the cases shifted to liquidation where the within 180 or 270 or 380 no resolution plan or resolution plans are not acceptable by the CoC or by the adjudicating authority, then it moves to the second stage, liquidation. Now, if you see the data, the total CARP cases admitted till December 31st, 2024 is 8,175. Appeal review, how much? 1,236. Closure by withdrawal under section 12, no problem. 1,130. Approval of resolution plan, 1,119. Very good. These two columns are very good. That is also gives a good comfort to anybody. Nearly 2,000, the 200 or 250 like that. Commencement of liquidation, 2000. If you take that particular 2,707 plus a review 1,000 and this is alarming one. And CARP still continuing 1,183. So 1,000 means 2,000, 2,000, 4,700 and this one 1,000, 5,000, nearly 5,000. This much cases, 3,000, 4,000 and 5,000. This much cases still under process means when the creditor will get the fund, either through resolution plan or the liquidation. This is CARP. I'm not talking about a liquidation, only CARP. So the CARP in respect of 7,699 CDs, corporate debtors. This excludes one CD which is moved directly from BIFR to resolution. So here, this is an alarming one. We have to address this one. So why the data published by IBBA means it is not for IBBA, it is for the stakeholders like the IU or IP or the particularly adjudicating authority information also. Rush up. Wherever bottlenecks are there, wherever hurdles are there, that is to be resolved. Okay. Approval of the resolution 1,119. That is good. Withdrawal under section 12A 1,130. Very good. Appeal and review 1,236. This is not good. Commencement of liquidation 2,707. This is also not good. And CARP at the end of the period, particularly 31st December, the continuing NCLT is 1,893. Here, why this is piling up? Today, why the banks are not interested to file a case in DRT? Why the banks are reluctant to file the cases in debt recovery tribunal? Lot of delay. Years together. So that's why the banks are also reluctant to file the case in debt recovery tribunals. So here, if you see the CIRP at the end of the cases, nearly 2,000 and liquidation at 2,800 and appeal another 1,236 like that. That is 3, 4, 4 plus 2, 6,000. Only nominal cases. disposed of. So that's why it is alarming. But if at all we analyze the data, serial number 3, 4, and 5 represent the cause of significant concern. As they indicated that 72% of the admitted cases amounting to 7,000 are problematic. Problematic. Because still continuing is problematic. Liquidation means first stage not completed. And review means problematic. Nearly 70, only 28% of the cases admitted by them are either closure or resolution plan. Only the efforts made by the RPs are 1,119. Remaining all are problematic. The efforts of section 12A, that is not efforts of the RPs. Closure. Because they want to pay, they wish to pay the amount and they come out from the IBC. They know the seriousness of IBC. Corporate data, so they know about the seriousness of the IBC. So only 1,119 means 1,100 roughly, or take 1,200. Out of the cases admitted, that is 8,175. We are talking about IBC preamble and all these things. That too after the particularly 2017 to 2025, that is 8 years. 8 years of performance means only 1,119. Closure is that is the corporate data or operational data. If the amount is paid by the corporate data to operational, he will withdraw. That is not my the RP effort. So that's why this serial number 3, 4, 5 present a cause of significant concern. As they indicated that 72% of the admitted cases amounting to 8,175 are problematic. So smooth sailing cases is only 1,119 only. I am not taking into account of the section 12A 1,130. Expedient resolution of these issues are crucial addressing the economic challenge. Once 72% cases are continuing, the economic problems will arise. The economic problems are arise. What is the economic problems of the nation? On account of delay, first banks funds recycling is not happening. Thereby the profitability of the bank will decrease. Once it is not completed the resolution plan, when the banks will get the amount, we don't know. And next one is once the assets are status quo and nobody is ready to, over a period of time, the assets other than land, the assets value will be deteriorated, whether it is a building or plant and machinery. And once the unit is not functioning, gross domestic product of the country will decrease. And once the company is not functioning, some of the employees may be terminated by the IP also, because the cost is very, very important. Take for example, one real estate company I have visited and RP also. Why the 4 cars? Once the business is not there on account of CARP, only 1 car is sufficient. Why you are engaging that marketing people? Once on account of CARP, nobody is purchasing, remove the 10 marketing people. And why the civil engineers that much remove? Because whatever the sources, I have to match with the users. The IRP, the RP has taken a decision. Even the corporate data is arguing, no, sir, 1 car is for me. What one car for me? Once the CIRP is admitted, you have to sit in your house only. Only whenever we are asking it for a meeting, you have to come on your own. That type of the strict procedures adopted by the insolvency profession. Expedient resolution. These issues are critical addressing the economy. GDP will decrease. Once the activity is there, employment. Once the employment is there, gross domestic product and the government revenue. Once the activity is there, sales are there, GST, purchases are there, GST government will get. Once there is no activity, and from goods and other things, even corporate tax also. So here, once the delay is there, the repercussions are more. The repercussions are more. So that's why the resolution is very, very much required. This much cases, only particularly the resolution plan is 1119 means 28%. 72% withdrawal plus 1,130 plus 1,119, 28% means 72% cases are still hanging on. Thereby, the 72, how much contributed to the economy? Okay, I'm talking about not about the even this not this particular 72% companies, but other operational criteria who are providing the stocks to this company, they are suffering a lot. Suppose I take for example, one main industry is there. Nearly SME companies, they are providing some raw material services and all are in credit. That companies are also liquidity problem is there. That also going into the CIRP. A portion of appeals arises from grievances related to deficiencies or complaints encountered during the CIRP cases. Why they are appealing? Sir, that resolution plan is not correct, sir. That he has given favoritism. That valuation is not up to the mark, sir. That valuations are quoted. So we should not give any scope to the criticism. Once criticism is there, everybody is having a right to appeal for the higher courts like NCLAT. So the portion of appeals arise from the grievances related to deficiencies or complaints encountered during the resolution of corporate cases. This situation can be alleviated through enhanced transparency. Once transparency is there, definitely this problem will now arise. Whatever I am doing, it should be transparent. It should be as per regulation. It should be as per rules. It should be as per the code, or it should be as per the judicial pronouncement. I have to educate some people. They may not aware all these things. They may complain in higher courts also. The communication framework of CRP should be fortified to reduce the frequent offer. Once a communication, effective communication. Till date, some of the CAP RPs, they are favoring only 66% of the financial creditors. They don't bother about the 34% because I will complete the case only with the help of 60. That is not correct. Even minority people also in CoC, we have to honor, we have to take their views, we have to they respect their suggestions also. Some of the RPs they are doing. So that's why all these things are to be taken into consideration. The communication framework within CIRP should be fortified to reduce the frequent appeals. It is imperative. Once this slide is over, then we will go for tea break, sir. Next, it is imperative that all stakeholders are kept informed. Then automatically the appeals that can be minimized. It is imperative that all stakeholders kept informed about ongoing developments in CIRP regularly, in addition to the members of Committee of Creditors. Always a committee of creators. I am not bothered about a corporate data. I am not bothered about operational creator. No, even though they might they only if 10% is more, the operational creators are also participate in the committee of creators. But it doesn't mean I should not inform to anybody. Update the workers. Their anxiety. Sir, when my salaries will get, sir? Who will pay, sir? And suppliers, sir, I have supplied 3 crores, 4 crores raw materials, sir. When I will get, sir? The funds problem is there, sir. My liquidity problem. I will also go into the particular CARP. If at all I have not paid the amount of the financial creditor. Their anxiety is also there. One of my friend, particularly RP, one day morning, a group of 10 people came to his house. Sir, we are from that particular company. When we will get? We are facing lot of hardships because of that 24 months salary. Even though 3 months salary due, 3 years salary, but we work for the organization. We are they at least some salary to be released, sir. Otherwise, it is very difficult. He pacified because I am also only intermediary. The CoC is there. The adjudicating authority is there. I will brought your views to the CoC. If possible, I will brought to the notice of the Committee of Creditors, the adjudicating authorities. So it is imperative that all stakeholders are kept informed about the ongoing developments in the CARP process regularly, in addition to the members of the Committee of Creditors. Although operational creditor and corporate data are not directly involved in the decision-making process, voting right. Okay, they can participate. Even operational creditor also, if out of the total crime more than 10% is there, that operational creditor also. But here, they should be, others are also should be informed. Then the anxiety, the BP levels of the others will also reduce. Otherwise, if at all I am not update the knowledge, anyhow, corporate website is also there. From time to time, disseminate that information to them properly. Are not directly involved in the decision-making process. It remains essential to ensure effective communication within them. Communication is very, very important. If at all communication halt is there, then problems will arise. Today, tools are available, communication tools are available, WhatsApp or email or SMS, whatever the tools, the modes are there. But communication should not be stopped. Next, after tea break, we will discuss about a sectorial distribution of our ARP as on 31st December 2024. Sir, is it okay, na, sir? Are you getting my point, sir? Somebody has to respond before tea break.
Yes, it is fine. Perfectly fine.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. So we will break for tea for 10 minutes, sir. After that, we will meet again, sir. Shall I start now, sir? Hello.
Hello, yes, sir.
Okay, sir.
Sir, we can start, sir. We can start, sir.
Sir,
Thank
thank
you,
you.
thank you, thank you.
Now I will discuss about the sectoral distribution of CIRP as on 31st. What type of sector CIP cases? Whether it is a cement industry or textile industry or construction or real estate like that. This is the data. Particularly the sectorial distribution of CIRP at the admission stage. So nearly 37% manufactured sectors, they have filed the applications, and real estate 22, and construction 12%, and wholesale and retail 10%, hotels 2%, 3% electricity, and 3% transportation, and miscellaneous all put together 11%. At the same time, whatever the admissions are made, these admissions, some of them are after admitted the case, appeal or review or settled or withdrawn cases. Nearly 36 manufacturer companies either appeal or review or settled or withdrawn. And real estate also 25%. And construction also 14%. So the wholesaler or the wholesale and retail or hotels or electricity and transport and others, the remaining percentages. And the resolution plans, this is very important. Particularly the resolution plans. Manufacturing 46% resolution plans submitted. And real estate 15%. And construction 12%, and wholesale and retail 7%, and hotels 3%, and electricity or the transport and others. Now we will come together and come to the liquidation. Out of these, how many are second stage? That is part 2 of the IBC process. The CIRP part 1, part 2 is liquidation. 40% cases are comes under liquidation, the remaining, and real estate, the 18%, and construction 8%, wholesale retail 13%, and hotels, electricity, transport. This is the total picture of the cases. How many are admission happened? Out of that admission, how many are resolved or withdrawn or appealed, and how many are they submitted the resolution plans, and how many are switched over to the second stage, that is resolution liquidation. Now this is the details, sir. Particularly manufacturing. What are the items? Food, beverages, and tobacco products are more. And chemical products are also there. Electrical machinery and apparatus are also there. Fabricated metal and metal products are there. And machinery equipment, textile, leather, and apparel products are wood, rubber, plastic, paper, basic metals, etc. This type of manufacturing activities are there. Once we are analyzing this data, definitely some good results will happen. What is that good results? I will discuss in detail. Even real estate also. Real estate activities, computer and related activities, related the renting or business activities, or research and development and other business. Some of the people, they are giving the buildings, particularly Microsoft or Google or in Hyderabad also, lot of buildings, real estate, they are constructing and giving to the they given to that particular IT companies or research and development or the BPOs, business the process outsourcing, etc., call centers, etc. Remaining cases are particularly the construction is there, retail and wholesale is there, retail and the trade is there, and hotels and restaurants are also there. Electricity and others are there. Transportation, storage and communication is there. Others are also there. Total it comes to 8,175. Okay. Out of this, some are appeal, some are withdrawal, some are approval for resolution, some are commencement of. What factors, what is strategies to be developed? How to understand what benefit it is there for me as a resolution professional after reading this slide? That is my question. So today, the resolution professional is nothing but a CEO of the company. You have to handle all the areas. All the areas means you have to control the functionary departments like HR or marketing or the finance department or research and development, whatever it is there in the part. And you have to handle the key managerial person. And you have to say your board of directors is nothing but CoC. You are the CEO, your board of directors in CERP is nothing but CoC. And in case of stakeholders, a consultative committee in liquidation, all these things are there. And once the cases are filed, and you have to manage the company effectively and efficiently. Administration, decision-making process, communication process, whether to how to sell the products or how to, because here a marketing person, a marketing say chief marketing officer is under your staff function, or finance director is a staff function. All people, they will help you to discharge your duties. But I should have little bit knowledge plus little bit knowledge when compared to the functionary heads. I should be well versed in finance. I should be well versed in HR. I should be well versed in production. I should be well versed in marketing. Some little bit. Otherwise, 182 days you are the CEO. You have to sign in the company balance sheet also, particularly annual reports and all these things are there. You are court appointed officer. And the supporters are or facilitators are either the CoC plus the adjudicating authority. They will give the full support to you to take the decisions or to approval your the decisions and all these things. Interim finance you require, they will help. All these things are there, but at the same time, you should be masterized about the product. So once the cases, more cases are filed in this case, suppose I should know what is the process of food, beverage and tobacco goods. What is the process? Who are the buyers? Who are the suppliers? What is the process? What is the latest technology? Once I have occupied the seat of the IRP or RP in the company, definitely I have to do something to the company. And the company should be a going concern. And chemical. How many types of chemical and chemical products related companies are there? What is the process? Who are the buyers? Who are the sellers? The basic information. I'm not talking about it to masterize. Even managing director also, he is not aware of the nuts and bolts of the particular industry. But overall, if at all you are having some knowledge, definitely as a banker, what I will do means whenever I am handling proposal textile, I should know the textile. Why? As a banker, why should I know textile? Because once I know the process, once I know the supplies or inputs or output or buyers or market condition, demand and supply, and how many competitors are there, how many countries it is exporting or importing the raw material, etc., etc. Otherwise, whenever I am giving my funds to the particular borrower, I should know whether it is a profitable organization or not, whether the borrower is going to pay the amount to me or not. In the similar manner, being a resolution profession, you should masterize the subject. You should masterize the subject. Next, particularly in the coming days, industry-wise, textile industry-wise, they are going to give the particular information. If at all you are going to get a textile, how to handle, what is the minimum process? I am not talking about a detailed one. So one day I received one email from Coimbatore, from Hotel Industries Association. Then they have sent one brochure and all these things. Because particularly our names, email addresses are there in the website. And immediately they are sending. So, Mr. Prasad, we are from Coimbatore Hotel Association. I think that you are empaneled with IBA and enrolled with IBBA. So I wish you all the best in your new profession. In this connection, we are going to tell that our association is full of experts in hotel industry. And if at all any CIRP cases of hotels are there, we will manage the hotel, we will manage the restaurant, we will manage the housekeeping, we will manage the particular renting, all these things, reception, all these things, ambience, and all these things. But monthly, we will charge some amount. And depending on the size of the hotel and the facilities offered by the hotels or services offered by the hotel, I astonish. It is a derivative business. Derived business. Once the companies are under CARP, anyhow, the corporate data, they are not occupy the seat of that particular management because their powers are seized. No powers are there. In that particular scenario, if IP is handle that particular this one, restaurant people, they will ask, or some people, if at all key manager person resigned, how you will manage that particular hotel? And one side, the IBC clearly told, it should be going concern, then the value maximization and all this. Then if at all I appointed that hotel, Wala, particularly that Coimbatore person, after bargaining on all these things, and whatever. But before that, when I am going to give that assignment to him, I should know how much a fees is going to be charged, what benefit, whether monthly I am getting a surplus or deficit. Once a deficit is there, it is a waste. So, being an IP, we should be more focused on the industry, the minimum, what is the minimum process? Because one example I am quoting, only one example I am quoting here. My friend got a NFCL, Nagarjuna Fertilizers. Earlier also I told about this one. That is a gas-based company. Fertilizers, gas-based. The gas is supplied by GAIL, Gas Authority of India Limited. RP, IRP, he is appointed as an IRP. That is the first case. That too, total exposure of the IDBI Bank, State Bank of India under consortium is 1,200 crores. The two plants are there in Kakinada, near seaport. And immediately he visited to Registrar Office. Registrar Office board of directors, they are no powers, and whoever the key manager, all are introduced. And day one problem. Gail, the production head at Kakinada, he telephoned, sir, the Gail is going to be stopped the gas from tomorrow onwards or day after tomorrow onwards. Once it is stopped, that industry completely stop. Unnecessarily, we have to pay the wages to the staff. Again, to restore the fertilizer company, and if at all the GAIL is, we have paid the amount and the restoration, it will take a minimum 15 days. Immediately I telephone. He telephoned to me, Prasad, this is the problem. Then first you talk with the GAIL, Gas Authority of India Limited. Immediately he got the number, the finance director, GAIL, and I am the IP. This is order, and order sent by email to you. This is an input, not essentials. Gas is an input, not essentials. But one thing, sir, immediately he told 300 crores due is there. Once 300 crores paid, then only I will supply the raw material to you. That is gas. Immediately IP told us, sir, 300 crores, it is impossible and impracticable also. The company is in liquidity problem. I will open one escrow account. Whatever my sale proceeds are there, I will credit and I will pay the 3 crores per day. Whatever the gas you are going to supply, that I will pay the amount. Immediately, he said, no, not like that, sir. If at all that 300 crores also, I will take care of through resolution plan only. Not immediately the payment is not possible. During whatever the earlier dues are there, before insolvency commencement date, I don't have any power, or CoC is also not having any power, or adjudicating authority is also not having any power. But day-to-day basis, whatever the gas you are going to supply, that we will pay. Otherwise, if it is stopped, unnecessary plant will be closed, and further problem will arise, and you may get your 300 or not. That is also a question mark. But if you say yes, then I will try to convince the committee of creditors also. Immediately he said, okay, you open the escrow account, you sell process, 3 crores daily, that is to be created. Whatever the raw material gas I am supplying daily. Thank you, sir. Next, the IRP interacted with the CoC. At that time, CoC is not there because he has to give the public announcement and all these things are there. Immediately, whoever the major stakeholders are there, particularly who the financial criteria, he telephoned, that is IDBI Bank. IDBI Bank told her that GM corporate, particularly in Bombay, you discuss the one. Sir, this is the position. And whatever the sale process are there, the sale process I have to create to the escrow account, and I have to pay the input, particularly fertilizers to the GAIL on detail. But I will send the approval, the note to you, and give your consent also. Even though CoC is not established, but you are the major financial creditor, and here this is required. Otherwise, going concern means how I will run the company as a going concern. Then bank also accepted. On the next day onwards, whatever the sale process are there, escrow account and pay the amount, the continuity is there. In the meantime, the company paid the operational creditor who filed the application, and now the case was withdrawn. Here, it is not my role. I don't know ABC of fertilizer. I don't know to whom I have to contact. Sir, this is the profession, which is a recognized profession across the globe. Across the globe. So that's why the sectorial distribution they have given, and we have to update the knowledge. I am not talking about nuts and bolts. Overall, because whenever you are in meeting, particularly in the CoC meeting, or whenever you are interacting with the particular key managerial person, you should also talk with the same language. Same language means that industry language. Otherwise, I'm the odd man out. Oh no, he don't know ABC of the food and beverage or tobacco, or he don't know about the chemical, he don't know about the electrical mechanical machinery. But I am not talking about you should be masterized, but some information you should be. with the process at least. This is a 10 process. This is the input. This is the output. These are the suppliers. These are the buyers. Normally, the modern machinery is like this. The plant requires this much space. That's all. And to get that, because we are the professionals, we know how to handle the situation. And if we get some information about this one, definitely some good results will happen. See, on the day, IDBI, this case was allotted by NCLT, not by the financial creditors. On account of that particular resolution professional, that is interim resolution professional, IDBI is happy. Gas Authority of India is happy. The workers are also happy. Once it is closed, dharna, strike, and all these things will happen. Workers are happy. Erstwhile, the directors or corporate debtor is also happy. Okay. They have find some solution to run the company, not to stop the company. For that, the sectorial the knowledge is required to the IBC. Here, he is a banker, but he don't know about the fertilizer. But immediately he is interacted with all the people and get some information, implement that this information. That is the role of the IRP. Some people they are told, no, so why should I learn all these things? I'm not I'm only IBC code, regular rules. In that case, you should not be designated as CEO. CEO means the role of the CEO, at least you have to discharge at least 30% or 40% like that. I'm not talking about 100% you are not efficient. But the basics are there. Among corporate insolvency, a significant portion of pertains to manufacturing, real estate, construction companies. So the manufacturing, real estate, and construction companies are there. That's why here the percentage wise, if you see, 37 manufacturing, 22 real estate, construction. But if at all we do go in detail in the Excel sheets also, that is provided by the IBBA. And we will get what type of industries, manufacturing industries are more. Then accordingly, we have to update the knowledge. So, first, among the corporate insolvency resolution process cases, a significant portion pertaining to manufacturing, real estate, and construction. These three are very, very important. We have to update 3% or 2% transport, electricity, hotels, 3% wholesale. We need not update. At least in future also, the probability I'm using, the get is with regard to this one. So pertaining, it is imperative for the resolution professional to augment their expertise in these sectors. Particularly this is important first, real estate. Today, the real estate sector, the banks are finance. And most of them are, some of the people, they are doing some wrong things, diversion of funds. And the home buyers are also facing a lot of problems. Significant portion of manufacturing, real estate, and construction. These three sectors you have to update. Even real estate, first preference you give the real estate. In the coming days also, some of the real estate, they are constructing occupancy, the sale of, in some cases, 60% sales. Even in Hyderabad also, some of the builders, they are facing the liquidity problem. Sale of assets is not up to the, flats is not up to the mark. definitely they will become the non-performers. Once the non-performance means the financial creditor will file an application with the NCLT. Here, particularly the manufacturing, real estate and construction enterprise, that is very much important. It is imperative for resolution profession to augment their expertise in these sectors, effectively to exit their responsibility during CAR. Once I know the ABC, then I can participate in the meetings as if I know, because always everybody is not expert. They will get some information from others also. So the concept of going concern within the insolvency code is a crucial notion. The resolution must manage the enterprises as if he is a corporate data. If at all you are the CEO, you should act as a CEO as if the original CEO acts like that. Yeah, on par with, you have to follow the guidelines. The concept of going concern with insolvency and bankruptcy is a crucial notion. As a resolution profession, one must manage the enterprise as if he is a corporate data. The intricacies, challenges, constraint must thoroughly be understood. What are the challenges? Suppose if at all I am in a chemical industry, what type of challenges I am going to? What is the intricacies? What are the constraints? Must be thoroughly understood by the resolution prior to accepting any assignment. Suppose today, 1 week before the NCLT, they are giving some information that we are going to give one assignment that is so-and-so company, that's all. Not beyond that, they will tell. Once the company name known, then I will go to the website and collecting that information. And if at all it is a chemical or real estate or textile or sugar or whatever industry is there, then I will go through. No, I get some knowledge about that particular sector. Then, after 1 week, after accepting that assignment, day 1 onwards, I will get some knowledge. If possible, go through that annual report of the company that is available in the corporate data website. If not, no problem. If you browse in Google also, some information you will get. Like a newspaper, read that information. Then instead of 0 or nothing, you will have some information about the company, about the process, about the clients, about the challenges, about the intricacies, and about the constraints, etc. So the intricacies, challenges, constraint must be thoroughly understood by the resolution professional prior to accepting any assignment within these sectors, particularly the manufacturing, the real estate, and the construction enterprises. Third one is outcome of CARPs. Initiated stakeholders wise as on 31st December 2024. The outcome of a CARPs. Once a CARP started, initiated by the stakeholder wise as on who has filed, what is the outcome? That data is also available with the NCLT. That data is also available with NCLT. If you see that one, CARP initiated by either financial creditor or operational creditor or corporate data or financial service providers, etc. Total cases should be tallied to 8,175. If you see that particular, this one, financial creditor, operational creditor, almost equal. The financial creditor and operational creditor almost, not only banks, even operational creditors are also, they are filing their, now the awareness among the people are increased, particularly the suppliers of raw material. And the CDs also 500 is there. Financial service providers are also sometimes they are filing that for. Particularly the closure or withdrawal or resolution plan, commencement of closure, all particulars are available. And if you see the particular realization by creditors, percentage of liquidation value, out of the liquidation value, how many creditors, how much amount they taken by the creditors, particularly on an average 162.80%. Because here, once you compare the particularly the realization by the creditors out of the liquidation value, if you take 100, the people are only 162.80 people, the percentage they have realized. And realization of creditors, percentage of claims, they have submitted the claims. But they got only 31.40%. Remaining 69% or 68.6%, they don't get it. Average time taken to CIRP 701. Particularly financial creditors, if at all they filed, average is 706. Operational creditor cases 717. Corporate data 589 or 677 financial service providers. This is a resolution plan. Through resolution plan, whatever the resolution plan, if the particularly the CIRP closed through resolution plan, they are getting when compared to the liquidation value 162. Means resolution is the best one. Means the liquidation value is 100. And if the CIRP is there, they are getting through resolution plan, they are getting 162.8. And particularly the claims, if all claims are there, if the company is handing over to resolution applicant, they are getting 31% out of the claims, 31%. And the average time taken is through resolution to complete the resolution 701 against the standard of 180. 180 is standard, 90 is exceptional, 60 is also exceptional. The 180 means how many times the CAR time. So 701 means it is as good as 2 years. But the CIRP should be completed within 6 months. 6 months to be completed, but 2 years it is 2 years it will take. And 701 is a high side. We are talking about IBC preamble. It should be quickly resolved. Where it is resolved? Where it is resolved? It is not resolved. 180 days is not resolved. And liquidation. Once the company is in liquidation, liquidation value percentage of claims is 6.3. Total claims versus a liquidation value, that is only 6.3. Means the hair cutting is 73.74, 93.7. That much loss is there to the creditors. But liquidation, also they are taking a 508 average liquidation. So CIRP is a 701, liquidation is 508, total put together 1,200. 1,200 means each and every case on an average 3 years, 9 months it is taken. Some cases Some cases it is resolved, no doubt, even before 180, but the average figure is CARP 701. In that CARP failed and goes to that particular liquidation, 508 days, 1,000, 1,209 days. In some cases, the total closure will happen. 1,200 days means it is as good as 1 year, 3 months like that, which is abnormal, abnormal. The average duration period of finalize the liquidation is 508, in contrast to the prescribed limit of 12 months. We are talking about you should be completed in 12 months. But a big market, India is a big market. Selling of the asset is also there. But here, the liquidator should be act as a marketing officers. Means marketing means I am not talking about he is a marketing officer. He should act as like a marketing officer. Anyhow, as per the Companies Act, if the liquidation is settled, particularly the assets are settled and the amount is appropriated, the reasonable fees will also get. If at all it is disposed within 6 months and appropriated within 6 months, he will definitely get a higher percentage of liquidation. That percentage to be continued. And a CoC here, instead of CoC, that is the best one. And everybody will try to get more revenue as per Companies Act instead of the CoC fees. CoC means a liquidator. At the time, the closing of the CARP, the CoC will finalize the liquidator fees that will continue, or later on the adjudicating authority, they will finalize that particular this one fees. Despite this, the process has been exceeded insolvency CARP from 180 to 330 days. Maximum 330. After 330, again in liquidation is 508, which is a high side. The mean duration of the CARP is 701 days, which exceed the stipulation of 180 plus 90 plus 60. Where is a 330? Where is a 701? Almost double the 200%. That to 180 we have to take. Base is 180. 180 it should be completed, but we are completing in 2 years, means 1.5 year extra. In the meantime, the plant value will decrease further. If at all plant is there, building values will decrease. Land value might appreciate. So all these things are to be taken into consideration. So one side we are talking about a preamble, one side a quick resolution, all these things. This discrepancy attributed by the volume of cases submitted by the national company law, along with the initiative and trust. This is why the delays are happening. Sometimes it may be on the adjudicating authority side. Even adjudicating authority also, particularly the infrastructure, the manpower, that is the shortage is there. The NCLT or NCLAT, they have to handle IBC cases in addition to Companies Act cases also. Where is the time? Take for example in Hyderabad also, morning time they will discuss about, they will that hearing is on IBC, and afternoon companies. The dual role, one side whatever the Companies Act cases or issues are there, afternoon, morning IBC cases. And thereby they are unable to adjust the time, and inadequate staff. Most of the staff are outsourcing. This could be the one of the reason for the delays. Not only that one, CARP delays is due to the knowledge gaps of RPs. The resolution of professional knowledge gaps. What to do next? He is thinking about the next. He is not thinking about the end of the CARP process, up to the end of the. If at all I know all the sub-process of CARP and I am well versed in that area, I need not think about the next. I think about the next steps. Knowledge gaps are also there. Some of the CARPs, because that problem is also there. Some of the CARPs, the RPs, they are getting the cases occasionally. And for whenever they are getting, they are inquiring with their colleagues or peers and settle the cases. Taking more time to attend each sub-process of CARP, and sometimes the planning and time management is missing. In some cases, the planning is not there. And at times, because of some of the people, dual profession, the core profession and the IBC profession, they may not, they may not balance that particular, the two professions, because this IBC requires a lot of attention, lot of concentration. So here, the delays, particularly the 701 days, on an average, one case admitted and final stage of CARP means 701 is not acceptable. It crossed the 330, that is 180 plus 90 plus 60. Actually, the benchmark is only 180 days. In exceptional cases, 90. In further exceptional cases, 60. If litigations and all these things are there. So here, particularly the discrepancy is attributed to the volumes of the cases submitted to the NCLT alongside insufficient in infrastructure resources. CARP delays due to knowledge gaps of RPs, taking more time to attend each sub-process. Suppose I take, for example, here in project control and planning also, any project. CARP is also one project. That project is being handled by you, and the project time schedule is 180, and the sub-process are also there. All sub-process to be completed within the deadline, not on the deadline. One example I am quoting. Values are there. If at all the RPs are maintaining the values list well in time. Well in time means once he started the profession, who are the market available the values? What is their capacity? What is their knowledge? How many candidate? Whether he is competent? Whether he is head the code of conduct of the values? All these things, screening and finalize a list maintained by. If you maintain, then once the case is received after CoC formation, get the approval and inform. Forensic audit. You need not wait up to till you get that forensic audit or transactional audit role. In the meantime, you have to verify. You have to verify how many forensic auditors are there. What is their knowledge level? How many cases are handled? Who is good enough? And who is good enough in plant and machinery? Who is good enough in the particularly land and building? Who is good enough or good knowledge in that securities business and securities valuation? Prepare that list and ready for that. Once the case is received, immediately call the people subject to approval of the CoC. Allot. Then today, what is happening? Once the case is received, some of the RPs, what is the next process? What is the next process? Then once that reached that particular valuers or forensic auditor, then they will scouting that people at that time. Suppose I take, for example, one sub-process is there in public announcement. The public announcement to be given within 3 days. Okay. In the meantime, once you started the profession, how many newspapers are there? What is their circulation? What is the charges? This is a standard format. This is the length, breadth, and all these things are standard. And get those people who are the representatives or agent or media, get that information. And whatever the quotations are there, get the question. How much time are there? Up to what time that is valid? And ready for that. Once I get the case, on the day one, I can give the advertisement. I need not wait up to last minute. On the due dates, before due dates, I have to complete. So here, the mean, particularly the mean duration of conclusion of CIRP 701 days, which exceed the stipulated time, that 180 days. This discrepancy may be attributed in volumes of cases submitted by the National Company Law Tribunal along insufficient infrastructure resources, all these things, knowledge gaps of RPs and all these things are there. Thereby the delays are increasing. Some of the people always commenting only the judicial authority. Okay. When the judicial authority, any hearing date is there, complete that hearing with all supported data. If you're ready and submit the same, at the most another hearing, it will be closed. The utilizing benchmark of 180 days, the duration is the 3.97 times. So 701 means 180 to 701. 3.90 times greater, which is significantly excessive, indicating the objectives of the insolvency bankruptcy have not been fully realized. We are talking about IBC. Even bankers are also, they are talking about this one. Why the IBC cases are delayed and we are expecting something through resolution, not recovery. And when the resolution plan will be over, when, if at all, that resolution applicant also requires some time to pay the amount, that is also all our question marks. So when utilizing the benchmarks 180 days, the duration is 3.9 times greater, which is significantly excessive. Where is 180? Where is 701? Indicating the objectives of insolvency and bankruptcy code have not been fully realized. The percentage, the realization of the creditors relative to the liquidation value stands 160. Why are resolution plans? Why are resolution plans? Once the liquidation value is there, 162.80% of the liquidation value, they are getting more, 162.80. If the liquidation value of the asset is 100, if that is completed through resolution plan, they are getting 162.80. If the liquidation asset value of the assets is 100, and if that particular company completes the CIRP through resolution plan, creditors are getting 162. If it is switched over to liquidation, they will get only 100. This is only the liquidation I am comparing. But this figure says that the outcome of the resolution plan is superior than the liquidation. If a liquidation is there, only 100 rupees they will get. And if through resolution plan, some benefit is there. However, when applying a net present value, the percentage diminishes specifically on the commencement of the insolvency fulfillment of the resolution. Here we will go to this one. Again, this slide. Insolvency commencement date to average time taken to complete the CIRP 701. So after insolvency commencement date 701, if that particular value of the asset is 100 after 701 days on account of this, if you calculate the net present value method, the value will be deteriorated. The value will be deteriorated. Today 1 rupee is not equivalent to tomorrow 1 rupee. If inflation is 5 or 6% or 5%, take for example 5%. Today 100 rupees means after 1 year, the 1 rupee will become 95 paise. Today 100 means after 1 year, if you factorize the inflation, 95 rupees. So in the insolvency commencement date, whatever the value of the asset is there, after 701 days, the value will be deteriorated. So even though it may be percentage that whatever the percentage is there, they're telling 160 to all, or if you factorize the net present value, it is nothing. However, when applying to the net present value, the percentage diminishes specifically from the commencement of insolvency to the fulfillment of the resolution. So today, inflation rate is also to be factorized. One side, delay decreases the value of the asset, plant and machinery. If a delay is there, definitely depreciation will be more, deterioration of the life of the machinery will be decreased, and rusting and all these things are there. Over a period of time, the machinery value may be scrap value or zero also. So that's why if you take that net present value, then no use, no use. Suppose the bankers are given loan after 20 years, suppose the bank they given loan. Today the loan is outstanding is 100 rupees. After 10 years, the banks are getting 100 rupees means they may get only 30 rupees or 40 rupees, not 100. In the real terms, it may be the 100, but value terms, it may be the 30 or 20 like that. Because of the net present value to be calculated. Conversely, the realization percentage of the creditor against the respective claims is 31% through resolution plans. The realization, whatever the claims made by them, and through resolution plans, on an average, the 32%, 32.40 they are getting. 32.40 means the haircutting is around 67.60%. They are losing, whether he may be the financial creditor or the operational creditor. This finding is further implies that the financial creditor and operational creditor receive little bit more returns when compared to the liquidation cost. Once the company is going under liquidation, he will get only 6.30 instead of 31.40. Liquidation further deteriorates the value of the. So in the liquidation, the haircut value particularly 92.70, whereas in resolution plan, the haircut value is 67.60, 68.60. This is an important. So the liquidation is nothing. Only liquidation cost will increase. Stakeholders will not get it. By that time, how many stakeholders are there or not? Because here, if you see the particular, the average time taken for a CIRP is 701, the liquidation time average is 500. It is almost 1,200 days, means on an average, it is 1,200 means 4 years. 4 years. After 4 years, If you calculate the present value, they are not, if at all calculate their present value through present value, the haircut is, it may be 97% or 98% like that. This is one. Ratio of resolution and liquidation. This is the fourth parameter. The fourth parameter that is identified by the IBBI. The first parameter is a CARP. The second parameter is sectorial distribution of CARP. The third one is outcome of CARP is initiated by the stakeholders. The fourth parameter is ratio of resolution and liquidation orders. Ratio of liquidation. Here also, we will discuss up to this fourth. Later on, we will close. And like this, in the coming days also, whatever the factors that are mentioned by IBBI, 40 parameters they have mentioned. The 40 parameters we will discuss in due course. Today, we will complete with the fourth parameter and 36 parameters. All are interesting one. Because once we are in profession, we should know what is happening this profession, how many cases are pending, what is the cost, how much creditors are getting realization, all these things. The ratio of resolution and liquidation. Particularly, the ratio of resolution and liquidation. If the liquidation cases are 91 and the resolution cases are 18, that is 20%. 20% of the liquidation cases are the resolution cases. Next year, 305 liquidation cases are there. And particularly the liquidation cases are there. And the resolution cases are 75. That is the 25%. Next, 1920 also 25%. After that, particularly 34%. After that, 42, 46, and 61. So slowly, the number of resolution cases are increasing when compared to the liquidation cases. That is a good symptom. Initially, the liquidation cases are more. As we are discussing that liquidation always a dangerous one. It won't give a much benefit to the stakeholders because the haircut value is more. But 500 days additional days we have to allot it to the liquidation. Even though we are allotting 701 days for the CARP delays and all these things, on an average 701, and liquidation is another 500 days, which is not acceptable. But initially, it is 20%. After that, 25, 34, 42, 46, 61, and 81, the 61. It is growing like anything. That is a good symptom. Ultimately, the IBC is through resolution, not liquidation. Liquidation means is death of the company. The proportion of a resolution plan in relation to liquidation initially demonstrate higher rate, specifically the first fiscal year. 2017 to 2018, it stood at 20%. However, the progressive trend has been observed in the following years, which is advantageous to the stakeholders of IBC. as of particularly 2023, 24, this upward trajectory persists that indicative of a positive development. And if at all, the particularly not 1% also, the percentage should be more. Percentage should be more. The equal is also not acceptable. But at least at this point of time, 90% is to be ideal one. And 50% cases are liquidation, 50% cases are resolution. But over a period of time, the 90% is the resolution and only 10% is allowed for the total admitted is 100. Out of 100, 90% of the cases are to be resolved with the resolution plan only. Remaining 10% through liquidation, that is the good percentage or benchmark. Consequently, the stakeholders engaged in IBC cases will derive greater advantages from the resolution plans as opposed to the liquidation process, thereby aligning the objectives set forth in this one. The stakeholders engaged will derive greater advantage in resolution plan. Once the resolution plan is there, they will get the greater advantage when compared to the liquidation process, thereby aligning the objectives of the IBC. So year-wise, the stakeholder-wise, the initiation of a CARP, that also we will discuss. Particularly year-wise, financial creditors and operational creditors are said. So slowly it is increasing. But here, particularly quarter-wise, if you see, the quarter-wise, that 38 in OCs and 84 is the financial creditors, or CDs 18%, like that. So here it is increasing trend, but in 2021, the number of cases are not filed by the financial creditor on account of emergency loan provided by the financial creditor on account of government guidelines, and almost all companies on account of this lockdown or shutdown they not filed any cases, and most of them are suffered. That's why during that period only the PPIRP is initiated. Okay, so that's why there is exist almost equivalent quantity of cases initiated both financial creditor and operational creditor. This prevailing trend deemed to be unacceptable within the context of the economy. So equal, particularly that equal quantity, which is not acceptable. So thereby, the operational creditor, once the operational creditor is facing problem, his company will also comes under the purview of CARP. Okay, so this is in brief about my today's discussion. Then thereby, in the coming days, I will discuss a number of cases, particularly this MSME will face a lot of problems once the operational creditors will increase. So this is my today's discussion, sir. So thank you very much for your patience listening. And any questions, sir? Any direct the questions in this regard? Sir, madam. Sir, resolution is 162% of liquidation value. What percentage is the fair value? Yes, sir. That data is not available in IBBA website, sir. That fair value data is not available. Correct. That fair value is not available. Only liquidation value is available. Then in the coming slides, if at all, in the coming days, I wish to give one more lecture. Particularly, other parameters are there. The age of the CA, the particular RPs, and the age of registered valuers, and particularly the land and building, how many are there, plant and machinery, how many are there, south, how many are there, north, how many are there, eastern, how many are there, how to overcome the problems, all these things are interesting. This is only to enhance the knowledge. Being a professional, the supporting data is also very much required, sir. So with this, I'm concluding today's topic, and thank you very much for your kind patience listening from 2:30 onwards. Thank you. I wish you all the best to all the professionals, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir, for such a wonderful session and sharing your best knowledge with us. Sir, please share the PPT of the session.
Madam, I hear one more point I want to give it
Yes,
to you.
sir.
The Insolvency and Bankruptcy Board of India, they have highlighted 40 parameters. So far I have discussed only 5 parameters. So this is a lengthy research oriented, and every profession should have the knowledge in this area. In the coming days, the part 2, part 3, like that, if at all it is there. Next class, we will discuss another 10 parameters. After that, 10 parameters, like that. Everybody should have the knowledge about this research analysis that is done by the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Board of India. And in the coming days, if at all ICSI, IIP is interested, or the participants are interested, then we will continue in the second series or third series, like that. This is only for information. Okay, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Good night to all, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank